What's going on, pro wrestling fans? My name is Ramos Jr. And if you noticed, on the past week, I had uploaded a video where I tried to predict every next NXT champion that I thought was going to be in line. Well, in today's video, I want to go ahead and try and predict the next set of champions on the WWE's main roster. Before I get into that, make sure you subscribe to the channel in order to keep up to date with all videos such as these. And of course, with that being said, let's go ahead and start this list off with the Women's Tag Team Champions. I'm talking about Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. They've been in the tag team division seemingly ever since Jade Cargill had made her debut on the main roster. She's been aligned with Bianca Belair since then, and I think everyone is already in anticipation for when their feud will begin. I think it's no secret that this is a matchup that everyone's expecting to happen at WrestleMania 41, so it comes as a question as to who will be the ones to defeat them for those titles. Now, I had a couple of tag teams in mind here, but the one that comes to my mind, I don't see it being a huge storyline. I think it might be something that may be low-key, and what the real story will be is the tension between Jade and Bianca. And I look at the division right now, and there's not a lot of credible tag teams that are in line. I think the ones that were have already been defeated. But for the case of this video, I think we're going to have someone like the Pure Fusion Collective. I think that's a heel tag team that can defeat them, especially because they have the numbers game. We want to be able to elevate those titles to heel status, and I feel like it makes sense to have those three unseat Jade and Bianca as our next set of tag team champions. Let's go ahead and let's just stick with the tag team division. Let's go over to the Raw side. The World Tag Team Champions, the Judgment Day, only have had one tag team title defense to their name. Obviously, we know there's a tournament going on as to who will challenge them next for those titles, and I think there's a chance that whoever wins this tournament might be the ones to defeat them. In fact, I think we've already seen who it might be in the tournament. If you ask me, the level of hype and anticipation that has come with the re-arrival of the War Raiders has me believing that they will be the ones to unseat the tag team champions. I don't see who can defeat these guys. I certainly don't. I don't see the WWE go ahead and crushing the momentum that they've built on their return. I think if anything, they capitalize on it, and they are the ones to defeat the Judgment Day and kind of relieving them of their duties as a tag team champions and go off and do what it is the Judgment Day boys do. Next, let's talk about the WWE Tag Team Champions, the Bloodlines Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, a tag team that I don't expect to be losing these championships anytime soon. I think whenever titles are, associated with members of the Bloodline, with the exception of Solo Sikoa, they are expected to have like these long, lengthy tag team title reigns, which is why I think a tag team like the Street Profits will have another go at them in the future and be the ones to defeat them. I just think Montez Ford and Dawkins are one of the best tag teams that the WWE has to offer. I would love to see them have another title run, especially in this regime under Triple H, because they had so much success in NXT, and because they're just a great tag team with their in-ring chemistry and the presentation. They're easy to like. I think they're going to be the ones to defeat the Bloodline, and I think that's going to be around the time where it starts to crumble for this iteration of the Bloodline, and it would lead us to the next phase of what that saga would entail. Sticking on Friday Night SmackDown, let's talk about the United States Champion, LA Knight. Now, he just won the United States Championship at SummerSlam. I do anticipate him to have about a medium title reign where it's not too short, but again, it's not one of those lengthy title reigns that runs for maybe 12 months. I do think this is going to be in correlation to the Bloodline. I talked about Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa. I think they're going to have a lengthy title reign. I don't see them losing those championships, but I do think one of their teammates will win the United States Champion. I think it's going to be Jacob Fatu. The rise that Jacob Fatu has been on since his debut in the WWE certainly cannot be denied. I think we will see him as a champion sooner rather than later. Obviously, you can't put the world title on him, but I would love to see him run with the United States Championship and have a similar run to that of Umaga, who was the IC champion and really just defeated everyone in his path. I think if Jacob Fatu wins that US title, he's going to have a stranglehold on it, very similar to like an Oba Femi in NXT when he had the North American title. Transitions, man. Now we're going to the Intercontinental Championship, which is currently held by a former Bloodline member in Jey Uso. I love Jey Uso as the Intercontinental Champion. And at the time of this recording, he is scheduled to face Braun Breaker for that Intercontinental Championship on Monday Night Raw. So depending on when this video comes out or what the outcome of that matchup might be, it might nullify this entire video. But nonetheless, for the case being, I think I look at his storyline with Rhea Ripley. I think they do that deliberately. I don't think that's just for no reason. I think his feud with Dominic Mysterio, whenever that happens, that's going to be the guy to win the championship. Dominic Mysterio, whose only singles title reign was with the North American title, I think he's due for an Intercontinental Championship. He's done great heel work, he's improved in the ring, and just from a narrative standpoint, it would make sense that the individual whose eyes are on mommy will cause a little bit of jealousy for Dominic Mysterio and infuriating him enough to take that Intercontinental Championship, albeit probably due to interference by the Judgment Day. But I do see Dominic Mysterio as a future champion, and in this case, it'll be the Intercontinental title. And let's stick with the Judgment Day. Our current Women's World Champion, Liv Morgan, has had the title since winning it at the King and Queen of the Ring event. I think it's no secret who will be the one to defeat her. It's got to be Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley, who's been out of action for quite some time. She made her return at SummerSlam unsuccessfully, challenging for that world title. She had another attempt at Bad Blood, unsuccessful due to interference by Rodriguez. But I do think she will be the one to defeat Liv Morgan. Again, from a narrative standpoint, it just makes sense. I do expect Rhea Ripley to win that title. It's just a matter of when. Do they have it sooner rather than later? The latest being WrestleMania 41. I don't know if they'll have Liv Morgan, have that long of a title reign. But for the case of someone like Rhea Ripley, it would make sense because you want to have like this grand victorious moment, and it would be exactly a year since she had last, held that title at WrestleMania 40. As for the WWE Women's Champion Nia Jax, I think it's clear in the direction that they're going here. I think they're going to have Tiffany Stratton eventually cash in on her. I think Tiffany Stratton would make a great champion, certainly with her character work. I think her as that heel, Barbie character, getting on the nerves of all the baby faces, thinking that she's better than everybody else, I think it plays well into her favor. The only issue here that I have is, are we going to be turning someone babyface? And if so, I don't know if I can get behind a Nia Jax babyface character. Same way, I don't think I can get behind Tiffany Stratton as a babyface, but if anyone can make it work, it's certainly these two women who have proven to be two of the best in the division when it comes to SmackDown's TV. I do like the idea of Tiffany Stratton having a little bit of a character tweak. That way we can have a little bit of, evolution and more depth to her character. But regardless, I think she will become that women's champion pretty soon, maybe by the end of the year. Next, I want to talk about the WWE Champion. Obviously, it's referred to as the WWE Undisputed Universal Champion, whatever. It's the WWE Champion, Cody Rhodes. Cody Rhodes, who won the title at WrestleMania 40, finally being able to finish his story, defeating Roman Reigns, who had held that title hostage for 4 long years. Now, he's currently in a feud with Kevin Owens, but I think this feud will lead into his next one against Randy Orton. And I think Randy Orton, who has recently signed a 5-year extension to his deal, he's made it well known that he's not going anywhere. He wants to be doing this until he's in his 50s. I think we're going to develop a little bit of drama here in that who will get to Ric Flair's record first, him or John Cena. I think Randy Orton defeats, Cody Rhodes for this title. I think it would make a great sense for their story, being that Randy Orton was his mentor in the early years of Legacy. They obviously have rekindled their friendship. They have a great level of respect for one another. But what I really want to see is the return of a heel Randy Orton. Him against Cody Rhodes, now that's something I can get behind. The only question is it going to happen at WrestleMania? I think it'd be a great moment to have it at WrestleMania, given it that it's Cody Rhodes. He would hold it for a year, but his storyline with Roman Reigns and The Rock is not finished. So that is something that can get in the way. I know some people have made the theory that it could be a triple threat match between The Rock, Roman, and Cody Rhodes. Maybe it's just Cody versus Rock. There's a lot that can happen still between now and WrestleMania, but in the current state of the WWE, my pick is going to be Randy Orton. So the reason I went with Cody Rhodes before predicting Gunther's, next champion in line for that world title is because when it comes to Gunther, it's so interesting. And this was probably one of the more difficult selections to make. Gunther, I felt like just won the world title at SummerSlam. I could see him having a long title reign like he did with the Intercontinental Championship. And it came down to two names for me personally. One makes a logical sense, and the other one I think is just based off of fan appeal. I talked about Randy Orton and defeating Cody Rhodes for the WWE title. Initially, I wanted to pick John Cena as the guy to defeat Gunther, maybe at WrestleMania, maybe at SummerSlam, to be the next guy to be the world champion, as well as break Ric Flair's 16-time record. But I look at it and I think about it. I don't think John Cena wants that record. I don't think he needs that record. I think it's something more for the fans. And we obviously don't know his schedule yet for WWE next year, but I can't see them giving it to John Cena and having him hold it for like a month or two. I think that would be a disservice to John Cena. I think it would be a disservice to the World Championship. So I think I'm going to go with the wild card here. And I think although he is a champion right now, he won't be by the time that it's time to drop this title. I'm going to pick Jey Uso to be the next World Heavyweight Champion. His rise in popularity, his rise in superstardom cannot be denied. He has certainly outshined his time in the bloodline as he's become one of the most beloved baby faces in the WWE right now. And I think once he loses that Intercontinental title to who I think will be Dominic Mysterio, that will kind of catapult him to the main event scene where we will see him take on the likes of Gunther for that world title. Now, if it is Jey Uso, I'm going to say SummerSlam. I think Gunther holds that title, for a calendar year. If it was Cena, I could see it being at WrestleMania 40, but I think Gunther will have a 1-year title reign regardless of who's involved. But hey, I want to hear what you guys think. Do you think it'll be Jey Uso? Do you think John Cena has one more title run left in him? If not, hey, sound off in the comments. If you enjoyed this video, make sure you like it and subscribe to the channel for more videos such as these. Of course, my name is Jose Ramos Jr., and I'll see you guys in the next video.